Did you know that YouTube pays less than 1/10 of a cent per stream for an artist? Now, I'm going to tell you how you can actually make sure that artists can make a living off of their art, because the number of artists that can is lower than it has ever been, literally. Because streaming services, you just can't make a living off of that. And the problem is, artists, songwriters are not allowed to form a union because they're considered independent contractors, so they can't actually do anything about this. That's why we, the public, have to put pressure on these streaming services to change this, when the companies are worth billions and billions of dollars, but they are worth that much because of the art that they are giving to people, but they are not paying their artist for their work, even remotely responsibly, because less than 1/10 of a cent per view. And then Spotify, arguably one of the biggest ones, is 0.4 cents per stream. It's insanity. So if you want to support your artists and make sure they can actually make a living off of their art and they are compensated fairly for their work, make sure you buy, don't stream. Buy. How do you buy? Well, you can either do a digital download, so you can go on Amazon Music and you can buy an album for like $9.99 or something, or you can do it on iTunes, or you can buy a CD, or you can buy a vinyl, or you can buy a cassette. So buy, because if an artist for Spotify gets 0.4 cents per stream, let's imagine one album has 10 tracks on it, so that's 10 times 0.4 cents. So that's 4 cents for an entire album being listened to. As opposed to if you just buy an album, digital download or CD or cassette or vinyl, then the artist is making $10 or more for that album. And vinyl obviously pays the most because it's a vinyl costs like $20 or more, and a CD digital download is usually more like around 10. So make sure you buy music and don't stream it. Buy by doing a digital download on iTunes or Amazon, as in where you pay like $9.99 for an album, something like that, and then you have it forever, but the artist can actually make a living off of their art. Or you can buy a CD, vinyl, cassette. If you are going to use a streaming service, make sure you use Napster, because Napster is the highest paying streaming service there is. It pays 1.9 cents per stream. That's almost 2 cents per stream, as opposed to YouTube less than 1/10 of a cent, and Spotify 0.4 cents. So if you're going to stream, then make sure you use Napster, and otherwise buy music, don't stream it, so that your artist can actually make a living. And that's why artists are releasing tracks exclusively on vinyl, because they are trying to kindly nudge you towards buying a vinyl instead of streaming, because they are dependent on streaming services, but they can't actually change the prices that they have because they're not allowed to form a union. So they're dependent on these streaming services, right? But the streaming services hardly pay them anything, and they can't make a living off of that unless they're the biggest artist in the whole world. And that is not fair. Every artist should be able to make a living off of their art. So that's why artists are releasing exclusive tracks only on vinyl, because they want you to buy vinyl instead of streaming their music, because that's how they make money, is when you buy things. And also, one thing people don't talk about either is buying music counts way more towards charts than streaming ever could, because one streaming a song once has to be multiplied. So you have to stream a song multiple times to get the equivalent of a digital download or buying a physical CD, cassette, or vinyl. So charting is really important when you're an artist for your career, and in order to do so, buying is the most important factor, and streaming is is very difficult to chart with just streaming. It's kind of impossible. So buy music, don't stream it. Buy music to support your art.